Bonjour, mon ami! Welcome to What I Eat in a Day on a Mediterranean diet in the south of France. Now, France isn't normally a country you would think of when you think of the Mediterranean diet. They use lots of butter and cream and things like that in their recipes, especially in Paris. But in the south of France, they're actually on the Mediterranean, and there are lots of healthy dishes that we can prepare. So let's enjoy a full day of foods from the south of France. When you think of breakfast in France, you may think of croissants or even an omelette. But actually, in France, most of the time for breakfast, they eat a slice of bread, maybe some baguette with some butter and some jam. And coffee, of course. So it's time for our French breakfast. Would you care to join me? Here I have a baguette that I've sliced up into little sandwich-sized pieces. I've already buttered the bread, and we have some marmalade that we're going to spread on it. And we have some French press coffee. Now here we have an eggplant, or an aubergine as they would say in France, a red pepper or capsicum, a zucchini or a courgette, some little tomatoes, some onion, and some garlic. And we are going to make a ratatouille for lunch. Now there are probably as many ratatouille recipes as there are people in France. So this one is mine. Now we're going to slice these vegetables as thin as humanly possible. Here we have some herb de Provence, which is a combination of basil, thyme, fennel, and lavender. Very typical of the flavors that you would find in the south of France. Look how beautiful that is with the lavender leaves. Now we have some extra virgin olive oil in this large skillet, and I have a small onion and 2 garlic cloves chopped up. We're going to cook these until they start to soften. So what we're doing first is making a tomato sauce base, and that goes in the pan first before the cut vegetables. Okay, now I'm adding some tomato sauce, the herb de Provence, combine this all together. We're going to allow this to cook while we chop the vegetables. It's very fragrant. Here are our sliced vegetables. Now if you have a mandoline, these could be much thinner. We tried to get them as thin as we could. Okay, we're putting our tomato sauce base down. This is an oven-safe dish. I'm not making a big ratatouille, as you can see. This is a little dish. Step 1. So what I've done so far is made 2 stacks of these, and I'm taking the red pepper strips and putting them in between. So it's a little wall in between the other stacks. We're going to keep building. Here are the beautiful stacks. Now if you want this to be even more colorful, I had a red pepper. You could have used a yellow one or an orange one. But isn't that pretty? Let's look at it from this angle. Now first I'm sprinkling on some salt. I prepared some seasoned olive oil here. I have some fresh thyme leaves, a little piece of some fresh chili pepper in here for a little heat, and another pinch of the herb de Provence and some salt and pepper. And we're going to drizzle this all over the top. Now we're covering this. We're going to put it in a low heat oven, about 360 degrees. We're going to cook it for 30 minutes. We'll check it in 20 just to see if everything's doing okay, because this is a tiny portion. But the plan is to cook it for 30 minutes and then take the cover off and cook it for another 10 minutes. So into the oven it goes. Here we are out of the oven after 30 minutes, and I think it's ready to go back in with the cover off, and I think we're going to give it 15 minutes. That looks delicious. Bon appetit! For dinner this evening, we're going to make a French pizza. Actually, it's called Pissaladiere, and it's more like an onion tart. It's made with onions and anchovies and olives and a little bit of tomato, and we're going to serve it with a side salad with a very French vinaigrette. Here are the main ingredients for this recipe. We have 4 onions, 2 small tomatoes, 3 garlic cloves, some black olives, and some anchovies. Here are the 4 onions and the 3 cloves of garlic, all thinly sliced. I'm going to add a healthy pinch of herb de Provence, a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And we're going to put these on a low heat and cook them for about 45 to 60 minutes. Just glossing these up with the olive oil, and I also added a pinch of salt. So now we're going to cover this. We're going to check on it frequently and give it a stir as needed, but it's going to go for about 45 to 60 minutes in total. It's been 45 minutes, and as you can see, the onions are softened. I'm adding the chopped tomatoes. I'm going to stir this up. And now we cook it uncovered until these tomatoes break down and this becomes a thick sauce. I'm going to crank the heat up a little bit to medium. And at this point, if you would like to add seasoning, you can add some salt and pepper. Our mixture is done, and now I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees, and we're going to spread this mixture onto our pizza dough. I have a prepared pizza dough that I bought fresh, and now we're going to spread the mixture all over the top and add the additional toppings. Okay, I'm using a slotted spoon just so I don't get any additional liquid. I'm just going to start spreading this out on top of the pizza dough. This reminds me so much of St. Joseph's pie, which is something that my aunts made on St. Joseph's Day, which was an onion pie sort of baked like a stromboli. Smells very similar. That was onions and anchovies and olives. Sometimes she would put raisins in it. She didn't really use tomatoes, but all of these onions just remind me of that. Bringing back sense memory of my youth. So I'm pushing these close to the edge as I can. Boy, I wish you could smell it in here. The next thing we get to do is play artist and arrange the anchovies and olives in a creative manner. Well, there we go. I tried to be symmetrical about it and create a design. Now this particular dough came on a piece of parchment, and it says to use the parchment. So you can cook this right on a baking sheet if you make your own dough. But doesn't it look beautiful? I can't wait to see what this tastes like. Into a 400-degree oven it goes, and we're going to bake this for about 20 to 25 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to whisk up a little salad dressing. We have a salad of chopped vegetables and spring lettuces. The chopped vegetables are a mix of escarole, endive, broccoli, cauliflower, some radicchio, some carrots, and some red cabbage, and I added a spring mix. And I whisked up a French vinaigrette. It has a clove of garlic minced, a quarter cup of extra virgin olive oil, a tablespoon of white wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of rosé wine, which we'll be enjoying with our dinner, a pinch of the herbe de Provence to keep the theme going throughout the day, and some salt and pepper. So here's our Pissaladiere. We're going to slice it up now and serve it for dinner. Time to dress the salad. Get all those garlicky bits up. Let's give it a toss. Is there anything more French than having an onion tart and a salad for dinner? With some rosé wine? There's a rainbow. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the foods from the south of France. I hope you take inspiration from it and make some tasty meals for yourself. Now don't forget, this is a tour that we're doing every month. So we've done Greece so far, we've done Morocco, and now we've done the south of France. I've had a request for Egypt, so we're gonna do Egypt next month. I think that will be really exciting. And please don't forget to share this video with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up, do all the things, and I will see you next time. Bonne nuit.